Hey friends, welcome back to Doing Different with Kimmie. Today I'm talking with someone who leads with so much authenticity and heart, Amy Fetcinko. She's a wellness and fitness coach who helps women reconnect with themselves in real, practical, grace-filled ways. Amy, I am so glad that you joined me today. Thank you for
Welcome.
coming.
I'm happy to be here. I am. It's
It's
exciting.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So let's jump into what led you or what inspired you to lead others in their journeys and how your own story became a source of encouragement for so many.
I I started teaching group fitness when I was like 16 years old. So,
Wow.
yeah, super young. I enjoyed it. I met somebody, and it was just a way for me to stay in shape, go out and meet people. And it just ended up with being a connection with people. And throughout the years, I mean, I'm 38 years into fitness.
Mm.
I've dealt with many different ages and w- populations, injuries, you name it. So, and I've worked with babies in the pool. So, I just
Oh,
have
wow.
a long, just a big history and lots of experience dealing with different personalities and where they are in life and how they
Right.
get places. So, I've just learned different perspectives on things, and it's helped me grow as a person to listen to other people's challenges, and to see where they are and to ask
Exactly.
questions. So that's really why it's just continuing to grow. So
Exactly. And are you certified trainer?
I am a certified trainer. Yep. And I didn't
Okay.
think I was a personal trainer when I was in my early 20s before I had my daughter. I've always been in group fitness. Got my personal training certification when she was first born. And I used it as like supplemental income. So, but
Mhm.
I always worked in health and life insurance. So I was in the business world for a long time, 9 to 5, doing the thing. And my daughter got involved in swimming at 6 months old, and I started to work more in swimming, and dealt with kids more in that aspect. And then I ended up running a retail shop in Roswell for swimming. So we dealt with club teams, summer league teams, high school teams. So I had a lot of relationships within the swimming world with the parents, with the high schools, with the clubs. And then about 2 years ago, um, I lost my job there. So my full time job was gone. And I'm like, I'm 52 years old. Who the heck's going to hire somebody at 52, working, just to have enough income?
Exactly.
And I was still teaching group fitness, but wasn't personal training. But I was, at One Life, and I'm like, I might as well get my certification back. So I just, took all my tests again and got it back. And I started training again. And for the first time in many, many, many years, I can say that I'm a full time personal trainer. I mean, that's
Right.
just how that all happened.
And
Um,
that's amazing. That's such an inspiration
yeah,
for my listeners because our group is usually 50 and over.
yep,
And, our goal is to get the message out there that it's not too late.
yep,
Your life is just beginning. So even though you were doing all of this before you were 50, you revived it.
yep.
And so, and I think that perhaps this might be your best life now.
Yeah, it
Um,
is because I enjoy it. Like
yeah.
I enjoy all the people, everybody that I'm working with. And I have a different perspective on fitness than I used to have.
Right. Right. And you
So,
have more time now, right?
yep,
Because your daughter's raised and you're not working 9 to 5 anymore. Is
right.
that right?
That's correct. I mean,
Okay.
I work the hours, I get my clients in, and then so I usually am up at 4:45 in the morning. I'll work all my clients until probably about 2 o'clock. Maybe I'll go coach swimming if swimming is up because it's summertime. So usually I don't
Yeah.
coach until August. And I have my health and beauty business that I have with NuSkin. So I have a
Right, right.
lot of different relationships going on.
And and that's the next thing I wanted to ask you is about NuSkin because that's
Mhm.
how I found out about you.
Yep,
I was, last year I believe is when I met you through NuSkin,
yep,
and so I wanted you to tell our audience a little bit more about that because I see the drinks that you mix up. Is that
yep.
collagen?
That's a new biome. We do have a collagen as well. We have a collagen that's a liquid that's in a pouch, and then we have one you can mix. The one you saw the other day was our new biome, which is our pre-probiotic,
Yes.
which is great for anybody that's having gut issues, or a microbiome can affect your skin. So it's helped
Yeah.
different people in different ways. So if you know your stomach is directly related to your brain, it's all related. It's one of the best products that they have. I
Does it
don't
have probiotics in it?
pro and prebiotic both.
Okay, and that helps the skin.
Yep, it will
Is
help the
that
skin.
the ingredient that is what's going to help the
Yeah,
skin?
yeah, the prebiotic will actually help that. So
Okay, and the
um,
other one is the collagen.
probiotic mainly helps the gut digest. So
Right.
and absorb what's going on in your body. So if you're taking something in, it's helping absorb it and pass it through. So
Okay, and the other one though is for collagen, or is there collagen in this one as well?
no, there is not collagen in this one. Our
Okay.
collagen actually is up to a 90% absorption rate. Other ones you find on the market, anywhere else, are about a 20%. So that's what kind of leads our collagen to the top. That's one of the biggest things is that people don't understand. Collagen's great. You can go to Costco and buy a big old honking
Yeah.
thing of it for $30. The
Yeah.
unfortunate thing about it is that when it hits your gut, you're losing a majority of it, and your body's only absorbing about 20% of that.
Right,
So
right.
that's
Is
what,
it bovine or is it a
yes,
marine?
it is bovine. Yes, ma'am.
And is it
So,
grass fed?
yes, it is. So,
Okay. All right. That sounds good. And that's with New Skin. And how do you
uh,
spell that? So our listeners can, we're going to get you connected with our listeners anyway, but
yep,
it's NU, just
yep,
skin, right?
yep. And then if you want, we can put my beauty group link inside wherever this is
Yes.
going, and then we can do that. Or they can
Yes.
just message me, and I can invite them however you want to do it that way.
Okay. So as we get further along in the interview, I'm going to ask you to provide those links and then I'm
Okay.
going to put them in the description of the episode. So
Okay.
they'll be able to get in touch with you and as well. So that's so interesting. You're doing so much. And the listeners, my listeners that tune in here, they're in the middle of something. Okay, they're 50 and over. There's
Yep.
empty nesters, there's
Yep.
retirement, there's widows, new grandchildren coming in, estrangement, all kinds of things like that. They're always in the middle of something heavy. And so
Menopause.
menopause, there you go. That's one.
Yep.
Post,
Yep.
peri, all of it,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep.
So what encouragement would you offer someone trying to do life differently right now? That different that's why this podcast is called Doing
Yeah.
Different, is because
So,
something different happened. So it was an interruption in their life and they were so used to things going a certain way and now bam, they've been hit with whatever it is
mm,
and it's heavy. So, what would you suggest to somebody, some encouragement for them and what they could do to get
the,
motivated?
the biggest thing for me is to make sure that I'm very consistent. So if I have something that I need to do today, I'm doing the same thing tomorrow. And
Yeah,
it might not be great tomorrow. It might not be great the next day, but I'm going to continue to follow the same steps day by day because it's compounding. So
yeah,
if you are doing consistent habits on a daily basis, those things will compound and something will work. It's going to take some time. It's not going to happen like, oh my gosh, this just, all of a sudden, like it doesn't happen that way. And
right,
un-
right.
it's unfortunate that it doesn't, but at the end of the day, it's really the longer and the small steps that get you to where you want to be. Because
Exactly.
it stinks to be hit with whatever you're hit by, and it's sad. And
Yeah, and they suffer alone sometimes because they're either ashamed, embarrassed, they don't want to be judged.
Mhm.
Um, for example, if there's somebody that's estranged from a child, an adult child, they don't want to talk about that
No,
because that's shameful. If they've gained a lot of weight and they're not consistent and they're not eating right, they're not going to talk about that. You know, they might tune in to a motivational speaker,
right.
um, but they can't. What do you suggest for them to do if they can't? I mean, be consistent. I have an issue with being consistent, and that's because I allow my schedule to interrupt my devotions in the morning or my vitamins. Sometimes, I want to take them in the morning. Sometimes I take them at night. Sometimes I forget to take them. What
Yeah.
do you suggest would help people be consistent?
So here's my, you mentioned taking your medications or your pills or your supplements. I have a pill box that's Sunday through Saturday, and I have my nighttime one and my daytime one, and I fill them up once a week. And
Right,
I make sure that it's ready and prepared and somewhere where I'm going to grab it. Um,
right.
when I work my NuSkin business, I usually set a timer, and it's usually at a specific time every day in between 2 and 4 o'clock. if
Okay.
if I don't, because that's a time frame usually that I have some free time to sit down and do it. um and I know the certain things that I have to do. When I'm scheduling my clients, I make sure that it's the same time. Maybe it's one time a week, twice a week, so that that will create a habit. I'm not like, hey, Susie, you're at 9:30 today and 3:30 next Saturday. They have a
Right,
consistent, there's a certain time frame where they know it's in their schedule.
right.
I talked about that when I went to a Weight Watchers meeting the other day. And I gave them a talk on the importance of strength training. And we talked about, and they're like, well, when do I work out? And I said, you got to make yourself a priority. I said, do you get your nails done? And they're like, well, yeah. And I said, how long are you in a chair? You're getting your nails done. That's great. Oh, about an hour, hour and a half. I said, we're talking about 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. So
Right.
you've just got to look at your calendar and find those chunks that are consistent. And you've just got to look at your calendar and be honest with yourself and be like, okay, Sunday I can do it here. Wednesday I can do it here.
Right.
I just, and that's how I've always been. And I have good time management skills. I can do 60 million things at
Yeah,
once. But
multitasker.
yeah, but that's only because I'm consistent. I'm a consistent.
Right,
I don't,
right.
I'm not very spontaneous. That's my goal. That's my New Year's resolution every year, is to be spontaneous. And
Oh, and you can't.
I'm not very good at that at all.
You're
So
very structured, and
yeah,
that's a very good thing to have, to be your self-disciplined. And wow, that is something that I really wish that I could obtain because I am like, I mean, I'm half and half. I'm
yeah,
half and half. I could be a spur when the kids were younger, it was spur of the moment, if they wanted to go to the beach or whatever. Oh, well, I'll drop everything and bring them to the beach. But now it just seems that I'm sandwiched in between being a caregiver and also being the parent of adult children. And there's a lot going on. And so it's kind of hard to pinpoint a time. But the way I look at it is because I'm starting to. And the way I look at it is if I had a job 9 to 5, I get at my job at 9 and I leave at 5. Why can't I schedule 30 minutes to go
yeah.
take a walk?
Mm-hmm.
And then in my case, because I'm in Florida, I would use the excuses it's too hot to go for a walk. So I got a treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
Then I use the excuse of something else,
Yeah.
and it's always and it always seems now my diet is I'm very motivated with that. I'm on
Mm.
keto. And I've been on it for 12 years off and
Yeah.
on. But the strength training and the exercise, that's what's hard. And I find that in a lot of women over 50, that it's really hard to get motivated. But I think you're right. I think that consistency and scheduling
Yeah. And that's
is
the only
being
thing that's going to work.
accountable.
And
Right.
you've got to look at it as how much longer do you want to live?
Yes.
You've got to look at it in that aspect, because it's about living longer. It's not about, it's not about a short-term goal. It's not about
Yeah.
losing 2 pounds. It's about, this is something that I want to live longer.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lifestyle. And I think that it gets to the point where when we start hurting in our joints, and I have fibromyalgia, so I'm always in pain. Yep,
Hmm.
always in inflammation. And I think that new skin biome
Yeah.
would probably be really good. I do take a probiotic and an antibiotic, but again, not consistent. So
Yeah.
consistency is key, everybody. You need to be consistent. I have a couple of friends that they are very consistent. They're on Facebook with videos of
Mhm.
themselves walking every day. They get their steps in, they're they're lifting the weights and everything, and it's so inspiring. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want to get to the point where I'm not in as much pain. I'm not going to say no pain,
Yeah.
because
Because
fibromyalgia is
Yeah,
hard
you're
to manage.
yeah, it's going to be hard to manage, but you've just got, and even if you started off with 2 days, Kimmie,
Yeah.
I'm not talking like, oh my God, this week I'm doing 5 days in a row. That's not realistic for somebody
Right.
that's not consistent at it. So you've got, to take small steps with that. And you've also got to realize that daily activities like cleaning your house and doing your lawn and taking care of things
Yes.
like that do count, but you
Yeah.
it's you know it
Not in the strength training
yeah,
as much,
yeah, yeah,
because you're isolating those specific
yeah.
muscle groups and everything. And so for somebody like myself who wants to start the weight training,
Hmm.
um, what do you suggest for 2 pounds, 5 pound dumbbells,
No,
repetition? What do
none of
you
that.
suggest?
It's way too
Oh,
light. No, I
oh,
if you women need to lift heavy stuff. So you can't now, if you're just beginning, 2 5 pounds, fantastic. If that's all your body allows, that's better than nothing. But eventually you have to get yourself a strength coach or a trainer to help you lift heavier weight. It's how women's body are built. You need to push heavy weight to get the strength that you need. Not
ah,
it's much different than we used to think. Now, if you've never lifted weights before in your life, get a coach, get a trainer, or go take a group fitness class.
yeah,
Because, and that's what I tell people all the time, go take a group fitness class because they're going to instruct you on how to do exercises correctly. So
right,
if you,
right. And for those who can't afford it, there's always the why. If
yep,
you're over, I believe if you're 65 or
you have
over
silver
60,
sneakers, you have silver
silver
sneakers. Yep.
sneakers.
Yep.
The
And
thing with that is they're very early risers. You yourself, you said you're up at 4:45.
yeah, but silver sneakers here at my gym, they're at 11:30, usually 11:30 to
Oh,
12:30.
nice. Okay.
So
And
they're
what gym do you work at?
I'm
I mean,
at
what's
what
the name?
it's one
Oh, I've
life
never
fit.
heard of that
Yeah.
before. Okay. All right. And so my other question too is New Skin. Who sponsors that? I mean, who is the producer of that?
NuSkin's been around since they've been around 43 years. They're in Utah. So
Wow.
you may have seen their toothpaste. If they have a whitening toothpaste. What happened was New Skin started in the 1980s. And they been around. They had the toothpaste. They have their Pharmax brand, which is their nutrition and their wellness products. And during COVID, they started social selling. So if you've
Oh,
seen people do it on their Facebook page, I had a friend that was like, "Hey, Amy, let's do this. It's free, doesn't cost anything." And I started selling toothpaste on Facebook. And then it led
Wow.
into relationships and loving the products and growing with it. It's a company that you can join and sell a product that you want, make a couple $100 and call it a day. We have many different
Right.
people that do it many different ways. We have people that do it just during the summer. There's no requirement, there's no cost to start. So
Oh,
if someone
nice.
wants to make some extra money, this is another tool for them if they're interested in doing it. I would just train them on how to do it. They post it and they sell it to their friends. That's
That's
pretty much
nice.
it.
No multi-level.
It is multi-level. It is a multi-level marketing company. It's affiliate
Okay.
marketing, but you only make money if you sell the product. Like say, for instance, Kimmie, you signed up. You're like, Amy, I want to sell New Biome. You did a post on your page. You sold to your friends, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, bye. See you later. You don't lose anything.
Right.
There's no
Right.
commitment. There's no contract. There's no nothing.
But
So
when I sign up under you, though, what's the percentage that you would make?
I just make percentage off of whatever you do. So, but it's
Right.
nothing. I don't take anything from you. You get all the commission. It's a building. So I get a leading bonus. I don't
Right.
get anything from whatever you make. I don't touch your money.
Oh, that's
It's,
interesting.
yeah. So I just get a leading or a building bonus from NuSkin. All of your money is your commission. So I don't take any of that.
That's interesting
Yeah.
because then if I wanted to sign others up too, then I
Then
would get that lead bonus as well.
correct. Yep.
And is that on a consistent basis or a one time?
No, it's consistent. We get paid on the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 30th of every
Oh,
month.
that's nice.
Yep.
Very, very nice. So anybody who's interested in that, we're going to post the links down
Yep.
below and you'll be able to get in touch with Amy. That is so interesting.
Yep.
So, Amy, when you think about the people that you serve, what's the core focus of your work? What would you pick? What would you choose that would be that core when you're
To
serving others?
to get them and to listen, ask questions, and to get them to open up to me so that I can get them in the direction that they want to be or where they want to be.
Right.
I get to know the people, whether it's personal training or in the beauty business, with what they're looking for. I ask questions. We build relationships so that I can give them what they want. If I don't know anything, I can't I can't
Suggest.
still, I
You
can't
can't
suggest.
suggest.
Yeah. If I don't know they have a knee replacement, if I don't know they have vertigo, if I don't know they're on metformin, if I don't know if they're on a GLP, if I don't, some people are so scared to talk to people about that. And then they get discouraged because they don't get what they want. And
Right.
then it's kind of like, well, we we have to
Exactly.
we have to do that. So sometimes we
Yeah,
have
they
to.
have to be upfront and honest and open and because if they want the help, then they're going to have to take that step
Yep.
to let well, this is where I'm at. Like I was telling you, I have fibromyalgia, I
Yep.
have degenerative disc disease, I have military neck, which is also called straight neck. And that's something that is either caused by trauma or
Mm-hmm.
it's genetic. We don't
Right.
really know. I mean, I did get run over um
Oh
24, I
Lord.
mean 14 years ago, but who knows? Who
Yeah.
who knows? My neck, I mean, it didn't my neck wasn't run over or I'd be dead. It was my legs. But so I I have a hard time even with physical therapy
Yeah.
because we need to be very careful because the spurs in my C spine are infringing upon the spinal cord.
Okay.
So it's very, very critical for me. So I got to be real careful. And what do you think about vibrate plates that people stand on in place of walking or for circulation? What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's going to get some circulation going.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to make you lose weight? No. Do I think it's
Yeah.
going to get some things shaking and moving? Yes. For you, I would actually recommend some water therapy or some water aerobics.
Mm,
That would be
yes.
that would be what I would recommend for you, because all the things you got going on, because water resistance is fantastic. You are still in the water working. I'm not too crazy about vibration plates just because I think they're another fitness fad. We see things
Yeah.
come and then we see things go, and they've been around forever. It's just
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're seeing them and you're like, oh my gosh, they must
Well,
work. So,
they used to be like Lucille Ball's skit on her
yep.
comedy show where you would put the belt
My
around
grandmother had
you
one of those. Yes.
and it
Yep.
would just shake you.
Shake you.
And like you said, it is probably really good for circulation and of course um lymph nodes
Right.
because you want those lymph nodes to drain. But recently, and I had started to use, and I was only doing 5 minutes a day, and
Mm-hmm.
you can build up.
Right.
But then I started seeing floaters in my eye. And then I started seeing lightning streaks in the side of my eye, and I got
Wow.
really scared. And a blur in the center vision. So I went to the optometrist, and he told me that I had vitreous detachment, which he says happens to people that are aging. And I said, I'm only 60 years old. I'm not 80 or 90.
Right.
And he's like, no, it starts like about 60. And but there's a danger to it where it can detach a piece of the retina
Mm-hmm.
with it. And then you would have to get laser surgery right away, or you would go blind.
Right.
And so my thoughts went back to the vibrate plate. And I thought, did it shake it? Did it excel it? It probably would have happened anyway if it's an age
Right.
related thing. But did it excel it? Because
Could
I'm
have.
vibrating, and it's like, so
Makes
now it's like
sense.
I can't even use it now because
Yes.
I'm afraid that it will detach from I mean, it is detaching from the retina, but we don't want it to pull a piece of the retina with it. So,
Right.
people out there, if you're using the vibrate plate, I'm not saying that that's going to happen to your eye, but I'm saying just be very careful. And I'd love to hear some testimonies from somebody. If you want to drop me a comment below, if what the vibrate plate has done for you, because the only thing I was using it for was for that circulation with the
Yeah.
lymph nodes and get the drainage and everything going. So I'd love to hear more from you. And like, don't you agree, Amy, is that the strength training is what really burns the fat?
Yeah, that's what's going to burn the fat. I mean, that's what's going to, your muscle, it weighs more than fat. But it has to, again, it has to be a consistent habit. You're not going to, you have to give it at least 3 months of consistent work before you start to see some benefits from it. Yes.
Right,
And it
right.
also helps with your bones. It helps with your posture, especially being over 50. I have lots of clients now. They're like, now I have to work on my posture when I should have done this years ago.
Yes.
I would have been working on it. So I have an osteoporosis and osteopenia are
Porosis. I
coming
have
up.
that too. Yep, I
So
have that.
all those things are starting to pop up now, and they go, I wish I would have done this a long time ago. So
Right, right. And
it's,
even stretching the neck,
yeah,
um, even if you, for me, I try to stretch my neck with this little pillow that's like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like a cradle and it fits behind your neck and you lay on the floor. And you have to be very careful with that too, because you
okay,
don't want to do it for too long,
right,
but it stretches. And for me, with military neck, that's what I have to do to
right,
decompress. It's
okay,
decompressing your vertebrae.
okay,
And I have bulging discs. So, that kind of helps sometimes, but we don't want them to herniate. So, we're keeping an eye on it. So, but what about, we all have areas that we're still growing in and that are unfolding every single day. What parts of your story feel unresolved or it's still growing you? Is there anything at all?
yeah. So I'm still growing with my daughter's 21. We're still growing with that.
Yeah,
We as moms, we want our kids to do well. Sometimes our relationship is really great. Sometimes it's not so great. So
that's right.
it's gotten better, but I'm just waiting for the day, when she doesn't hate me, but then she'll like me again, and then she does.
Right.
So that's still a process. Um,
Yeah.
and so
Been
that's
there,
probably
done that.
yeah, that's probably one of my biggest things that I'm still trying to work on and be a little bit better about.
And
So
that's one of my I'm the ambassador for Grace Restored Community, and that's where we focus on courses, and we have a lot of resources, and we have a great the founder, she's magnificent, and you'll hear me talk about her quite a bit on my podcast, Kathy Cunningham, and she is just wonderful, and it's all about becoming emotionally mature in parenting our adult children. And had I had this 6 years ago, oh my gosh, I think things would have been a lot better. But at the same time, I think that I had to go through it in order to become stronger in my emotions. And so it deals with anywhere from your adult kids being addicted, identity issues, um, just dealing with an empty nest or dealing with an estrangement with an adult child. It teaches you, we teach how to set up boundaries. Good boundaries doesn't mean that you don't love them. It means that you love them actually. And just learning to be the parent that brings you peace. It's protecting your peace by setting up those boundaries in love, and also learning to listen, and don't give unsolicited advice, and just it's not like, oh, you're walking on eggshells. You don't want to walk on eggshells around your adult children. I was doing that. um and I'm a people pleaser. And so, I had to learn to get out of that mindset and how to behave properly. And so I get it. I totally get it. And I think a lot of us are still growing in that. And yeah, if you're ever interested in joining us, let me know, because it is a great, great, it's a small community right now, but it's packed with so much information, and it's so good. And so now I'm going to ask you a question about the next 1 to 3 years in your life. Um, I know that you're building something meaningful. I know that the NuSkin is probably helping a lot of people,
yeah,
because I see how active you are in it, and it looks like it's really working. I want to try it, so I am going to try it. I just always am a little leery with the sugar content and the sodium and all of that. And so we'll have to talk about that. I'll have to look at the ingredients and everything. So,
I'd be
but
happy to
what,
send that to you. So
that's awesome.
there is
Yeah,
not
because
any sugar. It's just got a little bit of stevia in it. So
oh, I
there's
love stevia. Yeah, I
so
grow it because I'm an
yeah.
herbalist.
Oh,
So
very
I
nice.
I grow that. And but the sodium, they're telling I have a lot of kidney issues, and I used to have a lot of oxalate stones. Now I have uric acid stones. And so now they tell me, first they say don't eat spinach and kale, don't eat anything with oxalate. And now they're like, "Oh yeah, you can eat spinach and kale, just don't eat anything with salt." And I'm like, "Why?" And
Yeah.
they said because the salt aggravates the uric acid in your
Mhm.
body, in your urine. And yeah, there's so much to learn. I mean, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you
Yeah.
don't. You can't eat this because it'll cause this. You can't eat that. So I have to just be watchful that it's
Yeah,
not an
you have to be
excessive amount.
mindful. You have to be mindful of it. And I think I'm very people are, I don't restrict anything from my diet. I'm very much like, I, people say, oh my God, mayonnaise is bad for you. I'm like, how much mayonnaise are you eating? Or
Yeah,
they say,
right.
how much butter is bad for you? How much butter are you eating? I mean, I
Right.
guess that I sometimes I'm like, we cut out all these things and I'm like, well, how much of it are you really? I mean, if you're like,
Right.
gap,
And that's the thing. That's the thing with me, is that I am not I don't salt my food, but there's so much salt in food already. I don't
yeah,
eat processed food. I don't eat the junk food, the
right.
processed food. I don't salt my food. Um, but cheese has salt in it,
Yep.
and I don't even eat bread. So it's just because I swell. I mean, I really swell up when there's too much salt. But everything in moderation, and whole foods is the route that I'm going. So yeah, I think it's important that we maintain, our health. I mean, some people have to watch certain things, some people don't, but it's everything in moderation. You want a little bit of salt on your broccoli? I don't see that there's anything wrong in that, especially the kosher salt or the pink Himalayan. I heard
Yep.
the kosher is a lot better than the pink Himalayan,
Pink
but
Himalayan
anyway,
has a little bit more electrolyte in it. So
right,
if
right.
if you're gonna do it, the pink Himalayan, I suggest you put that in your water. Maybe a fourth
Exactly.
eighth or a
For
quarter of a cup.
hydration,
Yeah. Yep, for
like if you're
hydration.
gardening or anything, you could
Hmm.
put a little bit of that in
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Okay. And so getting back to the question is all these meaningful things that you are doing, what are you dreaming about or working toward in the next few years?
To continue to grow my beauty business, hopefully eventually um I will have some more, some more teammates. I'd like to be that way so that I have some more residual retirement income. That was my whole
Right.
purpose to begin with, so that that money, that income will always be with me when I do really retire. Um,
Right, right. And
that's
that's the
my
new
main.
skin. We're talking about new
Yeah.
skin, right?
Yeah.
What else is there besides those two powder drinks? Is
Oh
there
my
anything
Lord,
else that,
oh yes, there's a whole bunch of beauty products. We have uplifting cream. We have a top of the line age lock products for face, for neck, for body. We have facial device. We have our Lumi Spa. We have the body contouring device. We have the Prism
oh,
IO, which is the AI tool that's based on over 2 million scans that will tell you your nutritional health.
oh,
We
wow.
have a whole vitamin supplement line. So there's
Is
tons
it
of
third
things.
party tested?
It's all
Is everything
tested.
third?
Everything is
Okay.
tested. Everything goes under clinical trials. They've gone so far as the quality control on it. They will pull a product if it doesn't meet their standards. So they're
Right.
always tested. Everything is, we have 42 scientists on staff.
Wow.
And everything
All
is made
made
in
in
the
America?
all made in the USA. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Wow, that sounds really, really good. So anybody that is interested in joining Amy, please click on the links below and talk to her about it. Ask her some questions, and um, you can't go wrong with health, nutrition,
Yep.
and the beauty products too. You want to be careful with all the different chemicals that other beauty products have in them at your
Yep.
large stores out there. It's so much better if you get something that has quality ingredients in it and that's tested. And I know a lot of people don't want it tested on animals. So I
Yep.
don't know if yours is not tested on animals or
They are
not,
not.
but
They
all
are not.
right. Okay. So when you look at your whole journey right now, what would you say has been the biggest transformation for you?
I have a new perspective on fitness because my oldest client is 92 years old.
Wow.
And all she wants to do is sit up, sit down, go play with her grandkids, hold her grandkids. This whole last 2 years for me is totally, it's not about, I want to get buff. It's about being able to move. It's about living longer. It's about getting strengthening parts of my body that, you know uh, just to be
We're
able to,
starting to freeze up.
right, just to stop moving. So I have a and I've met so many different wonderful people that it's just totally changed my perspective on it. So it's not
Wow.
just like come into the gym, Amy, and kick my butt. It's about,
Right.
other things that people don't generally think about when you say you're going to the gym.
Right.
It's much more than that to a lot of different people. And that's
I
been,
wish you were in Florida because I would have you be my coach. What state are you in?
I'm in Georgia.
in Georgia. Oh, you're not too, I mean, you're not
Yeah.
maybe 8 hours away from me, but yeah, I'm not going to drive 8 hours to get an
I know.
exercise lesson in. But no, if anybody is in your area that's listening, Georgia, yeah, again, click on the link and ask Amy, if she's not too far from you. But wow, that is that's amazing. 92 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish my mom is 94 and she's a tough cookie. But she's in a lot of pain, but she would never exercise, unfortunately. So kudos to the 92-year-old
Yeah.
that's doing this for herself. So how can our listeners get in touch with you, Amy, for your support and your guidance?
So they can always go into Facebook and message me. I mean, it's just Amy Fetcinko. I'll send you the link and they can message me. They can visit my beauty group, which I will send you the link for that they can click on. Uh, they
Okay.
they can call me. They can text me 678-469-6175.
And say that again, 678.
469 six
Okay.
one 6175.
Okay. And then you'll be sending me the Facebook link, the message link. I know
Yep.
that I'm connected with you in a message
Yep.
link.
Yep.
Are you on Instagram?
It's a Fitzinko. Yeah. So if they, I,
A
yeah,
fit
F,
fet.
yep. A is in apple, F is in Frank, E is in every, T is in Tom, C is in cat, I is in igloo, N is in Nancy, K is in keep, O is in orange.
Just like right here on the sign.
Yep.
Fetcinko.
Yeah. So
Okay, but with
even if
just
they
the
go
A.
same, and then for Facebook, it's just Amy Fitzinko. So if they just want to go to Amy Fitzinko and message me, they can friend me that way too. But I'll send you all the links and
So
then
you're
so you can.
public, so that's
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. So before we wrap it up, is there anything that you want to leave with our listeners today?
Just be positive and know that the small steps will eventually lead to bigger things.
Yes.
And
Results.
yep, be patient with
Yeah.
yourself and give yourself some grace.
Yes.
Not everything will happen in one day. So
Right. And for us women, at this age, time goes by really fast. So I'm looking back, I'm looking in my 30s when things were going slow and I wanted to lose weight fast. And then you go to those weight loss places and they give you the amphetamine and they give you or they you take the ketones or
mhm,
whatever, which has a lot of salt. um, I used to take that all the time. It's probably what caused my kidney issues, but
mm,
but that burns fat real quick, like within
right.
1 to 3 hours, if you're doing the ketones. So, but no, I mean, it's amazing. I just lost my train of thought here for a minute because I was thinking of something else to ask you. Um, but it's just amazing how people can feel so much better if they just apply themselves and to stop. One thing that I would say is to get that depression. See, that's another thing is if you're in depression, the exercise helps that.
Yep.
And so if you could just push yourself just a little bit, um, even if it's just to walk around your house, if you don't feel safe walking, because that's another issue is unbalanced ground, is because I've tripped before.
Mhm.
Um, So if you don't feel comfortable walking in your neighborhood or walking around your house, get a small treadmill. You can buy them on Amazon and
Buy a
there's
walking pad. Buy a walking pad.
a
Those are great.
walking pad. I think
Yeah.
maybe that's probably what I have is a
Yeah.
walking pad. But now I remember what I was going to say. When I was in my 30s, I wanted things to go faster and things were going slower. Now that I'm 60, um, things are going really fast. So if we start working out today, believe me, next year's going to come just like that.
Uh-huh.
Because I can't believe it's already been 2 years since the back to back hurricanes down here.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be 2 years this December, and look how fast that went. I mean, we
Yep.
were in devastation. So give yourself a year. You know, I would suggest that, because a year goes by really fast these days. If you're 60 and up, even if you're 50 and up, it goes by really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and wanting something really quick, getting on amphetamines. I mean, I don't know about the GLP shots. I have a couple of friends that went into re anorexia because their stomachs got numb so bad that they couldn't
There's
eat.
going to be horror stories for everyone. But the GLPs can be very beneficial if they're used correctly.
Right.
And I have a lot of clients on GLPs, but I also have a lot of clients with the new biome because that's going to help balance their gut because that's one of the biggest
Yes.
issues that they do have. Um,
So taking it together is a
yeah,
plus.
yeah. So GLPs, I mean, GLP is something that occurs naturally in your body. It's again, it's a tool. It's not something that you should be on for the rest of your life. However, they're coming out now that GLPs are having much more beneficial um, things in it for longer periods. So as the studies come out, um, just make sure you're under a doctor's supervision or you have a very good clinic that you're going to,
Exactly.
and
And
you're not. Yeah,
treat your gut to some probiotics and some
correct.
biome.
Yep.
So that's really, really good too. So now, I have a little quote that I want to read to everybody here. Once well-known psychiatrist by the name of Carl Menninger, he wrote, "Hope is an adventure, an ongoing forward, a going forward. Hope is an adventure, a going forward, a confident search for a rewarding life." And I thought that was so nice because it is an ongoing search. It is a going forward. You can't go back. You can only go forward. And hope can be adventurous. So take that step today if you're stuck. Um, there's a lot of people out there that are stuck for whatever reason. There could have been some trauma, some estrangement, some um a death of a family member, and you're just stuck. So I would just suggest that you keep moving forward, and that's what the motto is on here on Doing Different, is keep moving forward and keep doing different. And so, to my audience, my listeners out there, please subscribe, like, and share so this podcast gets out to more people who need to be encouraged in their doing different season. And friends, if you are searching for a rewarding life, please connect with Amy or join her wellness community. All her links, as we've been talking about, are going to be included below in the show notes. And I want to thank you all for listening. I want to thank you, Amy, for being my guest today. It's been such a pleasure. I finally got to meet you.
Yay. Thank you for having
Been
me.
following you for a year. So it was so nice to meet you. And also, I want to thank everybody for listening. And remember, you are allowed to grow, you are allowed to change, and you are allowed to do life differently. So until next time, keep doing different. Bye bye.